And just like that, it is 6:15. Let me get my notes here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to meeting number 339 of Toronto Liberty Village Speakers. Are you nervous about presenting your next speech or anything in public? Believe me, you're not alone. I'm sure you've heard that public speaking is the #1 fear ahead of death. People would rather lay in a coffin than speak in public. I'm what in the Toastmasters community we refer to as a lifer, as I've just started into my 19th year with this organization. Does everyone stay for this long? Some do, and some do, such as our members Ken and Rita, who is online here, who have been learning life's lessons longer than I have. We stay because we learn. We learn something new at every single meeting. We give back because we enjoy it in seeing new members develop their skills along the way. Some are faster than others, and that's absolutely fine. Everybody is different. Being nervous comes with the territory. At my very first Toastmasters meeting in October 2006, my first word uttered in reply to being asked what I thought of the meeting, I said, ditto, in reference to my coworker saying his comments. Will that be your nervous first word said in a Toastmasters meeting? Perhaps not, as you'll possibly get the chance in our upcoming table topics meeting. But first up, let's welcome our guests. So if we can have one by one come up to the front so that we can clearly hear your name, so I can record you on the attendance report and tell us why you're here at this meeting tonight. So one by one, let's start with who I know registered, and that would be Haley. Haley, up to the front.
No, no, no.
Yeah, okay.
Where the microphone is. Hi there. Yep, that's good.
It's on. Thank you.
Haley. What was it? Why I came here?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just want to get better at this because I'm not really good at it. I'm here with a friend of mine, again, kind of here together. We're coworkers.
Thank you. Elton, can you check the microphone? Because we don't think it's on.
Oh, is it on now?
Oh, now it is. There we go.
Okay,
Perfect.
I see a green light now.
Okay. That helps.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Should I repeat myself?
Sure, yeah, go ahead. Just, yeah.
I'm Haley. I'm here because I want to learn to speak better, more comfortably, more naturally. And I'm here with my coworker, Megan, who is here with me for the first time.
Thank you. And Sarah, come on up. Sarah.
I think she's coming.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was Sarah that was sitting beside her.
No.
Hi, can you
Hi
hear
there.
me? You see me?
Are
Yeah.
you Sarah?
Okay, great.
Okay.
I'm Sarah. Hi.
Thank you.
I'm here. I actually do a lot of presenting virtually, but I'm very nervous presenting in person. And so I think during the pandemic, I got really good at speaking at webinars and doing different presentations, but always at home in my office at my computer. And I'm really wanting to speak more in public and give presentations. So that's why I'm here to work on those skills.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. And if you could pass it on to the next one, that'd be great.
Is that to Megan? Megan? Is that your name? Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm here because I just feel like I lack a lot of confidence when I speak and present. And this year I'm just kind of starting to present a lot more in my position at work. So I feel like I'm okay when I have something prepared and like Sarah said, when it's virtual and stuff. But I think as soon as I get asked questions kind of on the cuff or even in person, I feel like sometimes I struggle a little bit with with confidence and just like speaking naturally. So yeah, I'm here with my coworker Haley. I'm excited to do this together. Yeah, and I can't wait to learn from all of you guys.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. Pass it on to the next one. Oh, here he comes. Hi
Hello,
there.
I'm Rowan. I've been doing a lot of public
Your- what-
speaking like the
What's your
others.
name? What's your name first?
Ruan,
Sorry, say that again.
Ruan.
Rowan, Fernando. Okay, thank you.
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
Uh, Cool. I've been doing a lot of public speaking, much like Sarah, in both work and a virtual sense. I'm founding my own company this year, so I'm going to have a lot of pitch conversations and a lot of awkward conversations about pricing and like my business model. So I want to be more equipped to be a bit more fluent to navigate those conversations, especially when it gets a bit awkward or whenever it gets a bit more technical. So yeah, looking for more tools and more ways to cope with those stresses.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you. On to the next one.
Well, you. I'm the guest speaker. I know you're a guest.
Hi, I'm Larry. I am going to be a guest speaker for tonight. You're in for a treat. It'll be a yoga demonstration. Yeah, and so it's not something you come across usually in Toastmasters, but it is a challenge nonetheless for me as a more advanced Toastmaster. So that's what I'm hoping to do. My home club is Eglinton Young, and I also am with Bruce at the ART. That's the Advanced Royal Toastmasters. So I'm happy to be here and hope you enjoy what I have to offer. Thank you.
Thank you. I still see, I think, two more guests to come up. The person sitting beside Ruan.
You, Governor. Oh, you want to sit there? Okay. Where do you want me to do this?
Really?
You want to do this? You're not. You're gonna be sorry.
You're asking for my name?
Yes, please.
Be ready. Mr. Robert Stephen John Joseph Wagner.
Oh my
I
goodness.
was born into a European family. My father was Hungarian. My mother was Czechoslovakian. That made me a hungry Czech. We could take it a step further. I had a sister, so she became a hungry Czech. And I was a Toastmaster for a total of 10 years. And this is where I met wonderful man, Elton, and stopped about 5 years ago and just decided to come in and see Mr. Elton again this evening and look at these brand new faces and these new future Toastmasters. I'm going to stand up here the way I am, just I'm going to hog all the time here.
No,
You're
no,
not-
no, no, no.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you. And there's, I think the one woman, no, what the lady in the white jacket, did you come up?
No, she's already, that was Megan.
Oh, that was Megan, sorry, yes. And what about okay, I think we got everybody.
We're done.
We're done, thank you. Okay, let's get moving on. Let's get moving on. So we're gonna welcome our grammarian, Adrian, first to explain your role, please.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is savvy, which means having practical knowledge or understanding, being well informed or skilled. As an example of using this word, Adrian has a lot of tech savvy, or Adrian is very tech savvy, especially when it comes to front-end engineering and new JavaScript frameworks. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give the grammarian report when called upon during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Also, I think at this club, whenever someone says the word, we do this kind of like handshaking with your hands. All right. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Adrian, for that. By the way, my home club does this as well, but doing this is means applause in sign language.
Oh, okay.
So now you know. There you go. I'll introduce Michelle, if you can unmute and tell us what your role as the awe counter is.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So as awe counter, my responsibility is to listen for filler words. That's what I just did right now.
I know, I was just going to say that.
And this is your opportunity to pause before, if you're having trouble thinking about something or thinking about what you're going to say, use pauses. And I'll be looking out for ums, ahs, like, so, and I'll give a report at the end of the meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Michelle. And I'm your timer for all speeches. Hang on, what here? We always time every speech in Toastmasters because we need to be on time. We don't want to go over time. And with that, because it's the fall season here in Ontario, I will display the green leaves at the minimum time, the yellow leaves at the middle time, and the red leaves at the maximum time. When you see the yellow, start thinking about wrapping up, because when you see the red, you only have a 30-second grace period. Up first, we have our table topics session, at which they are only 1 to 2 minutes long. That's it. So 1 at the green, 1.5 at the yellow, and 2 minutes at the red. And with that, I will now hand it over to our table topics leader, Rita. Please welcome Rita.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and to our esteemed guests. As we know in the real world, and as several of our guests mentioned, us adults are frequently called upon to respond to a question or a comment on something. By that I mean that at any point in our working life or in our waking life, we could have a proverbial microphone thrust at us. So I promise that participation in table topics this evening prepares us for that eventuality. And tonight, I'm inviting as many of you as possible to participate in table topics. What I'll do is I'll pose a question and ask you to respond in a coherent manner. It doesn't have to be really serious. As a matter of fact, it can be a bit of a tall tale. You're allowed to respond with a tall tale. All I ask is that we try to have a bit of a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion. I also invite you to use the word of the day, which is savvy, as you present. So I've got some questions, and I want to invite our guests as well to participate in table topics. I will begin by, first of all, calling on Michelle. Michelle, are you there?
Yes.
And my question for you is, what 3 tips would you offer to your mentee, a Toastmaster mentee who's chairing a meeting for the first time? What 3 tips would you offer to your mentee who's chairing a meeting for the first time?
3 tips?
Yes.
So the three tips that I would offer is tip number one. If my mentee was chairing a meeting, I would encourage him or her to prepare before the meeting, like come up with the theme and also give a little presentation related to the theme and provide a toast on that. Tip number two is to look at the Toastmaster schedule and make sure that all the roles are taken. And if they're not taken by, let's say, Wednesday or Thursday, maybe send a message to individual members who haven't taken on the role to ask them if they could take on a role. And tip number three would be to ask, any questions or ask for support too from fellow members, or ask me questions as a mentor too if they have any questions about the role. So those would be the three tips that I would give. Back to you.
Thank you, Michelle. Your response was very savvy and addressed the topic quite well. So those are the kinds of questions that I'll ask, and they have to do with the theme of the evening, which is, are you nervous about presenting? And so I'll ask Bibi if you could respond to my next question. Bibi, a friend who knows you're a Toastmaster has to make a speech at a wedding. What three tips would you offer that person to help that person prepare for their speech? Bibi.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. It's a wedding. First of all, they're doing a speech. They have to determine what role are they going to present. Are they speaking on behalf as a parent? Are they speaking as best man, best woman? They have to determine their role, and that would help them to determine what they need to say. They would also have to prepare it, because sometimes you just can't go to a wedding and do it off the fly. You have to have some preparation. Like when I attended my son's wedding, I did prepare my speech as mother of the bridegroom. So there has to be some preparation. And then it's a speech at a wedding. It cannot always be very formal. Make sure that they inject some humor, because humor would liven up the audience. Humor would get your audience to participate with you. It will get you, reduce your nervousness and stuff like that. And then everyone would have that feeling of camaraderie, of being at a wedding and having a memorable time, because the idea is a wedding is something that will always be remembered. So it has to be memorable. So in concluding, it needs some preparation, you need injecting some humor, and you need to determine what role you are going to be presenting at the wedding. And back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Bibi. That does the trick. And yes, I like the idea of injecting humor, particularly at a wedding. Now, Bruce, you talked earlier about your first time at a Toastmaster meeting, and you said when you were asked the question, you said ditto. So tell us of a person you have watched moved from being very nervous about speaking to super confident, a person you have watched evolve over the years as a Toastmaster. They were very, very, very nervous, and then they're super confident now. Share that with us, please.
I'm going to talk about one of my fellow club members at my home club. It's the one that I've been with for 18 years, now into my 19th year. And her name is Agnes Liu. She came to the club around 2015, I believe, 2014 maybe. She was very shy at first, of course, being nervous, like any normal person would be in a Toastmasters setting for the first time. But as the years have gone by, actually 2 or 3 years after she joined, she became a Pathways guide. So she was able to achieve her district leadership because the Toastmasters International was offering that as a role as a stepping stone during the transition of Pathways coming in. She has been the vice president of education. She has been the club president a couple of times. And I've just seen her develop so much as a speaker, but also in her presentations. She's a master at Canva and able to do PowerPoint or slide presentations. We keep telling her, we got to learn how to do this. Please do a speech about how to do this. I'm sure you can apply it to some kind of project in Pathways. And that's what one person, one of many that I can confidently say that I have been impressed with during her journey. Thank you. Back to you, topics leader Rita.
Thank you, Bruce, for that savvy response to my question. I would like to invite one of our guests now, or two of our guests, or three of our guests. But I prefer if you volunteer. Two. I prefer if you volunteer. And I promise you that I have a very straightforward question for you. Did I see a hand up? Yes? Yes or no? I
don't
promise
see
you
a
I
hand
have a
up, but
nice, easy one for you. Just come up to the front. Elton will guide you up to the front, and I'll throw your question at you. No. Okay.
oh, here comes
Oh,
one.
yeah. We do have a guest coming up. Wonderful.
Just to ask for
Wonderful. You can have
her name
some,
again, though.
yeah, you can have some fun with this. And could you please remind me of your name?
I'm Sarah.
Sarah. I'm so glad that you're jumping in. Sarah, how do you know when you're nervous?
How do I know I am nervous? Well, I'm
Yeah.
nervous right now, so let me describe it. My heart's pounding a little bit, and I'm trying to think of something really interesting or intelligent or savvy to say. And I can't quite think of what I want to say. And I know as soon as I go and sit down, I'm going to think of something very, very smart and hilarious to tell you all. But I can't right now because I'm nervous. So that's how I know.
Well, I think you've done an amazing job as a guest. Thank you so very much for that. So I've got time for one more question, and I'm looking for a volunteer there. Please. One more question, and it's just as easy as the one I gave to Sarah. Did I say yes? Did I hear somebody say yes?
Bob. No,
Yes.
I'm not.
And
calling. Bob is coming to the podium, so just give him
Oh,
a minute.
amazing.
Okay.
Amazing,
And-
Robert. Thank you. That's a man with several names. I hope I
Elton,
remember them all.
Elton, the camera has adjusted, so it's not in the right place right now.
Again.
So, Bob, tell us what makes you nervous.
Being asked to come in front of this group and speak.
Sure.
It's not uncommon for people, if it's the first time, even a second or a third time, coming to a Toastmasters meeting and feeling nervous. And yet, if once they see the total involvement in the meeting, especially when we get to table topics, majority of people say they're coming because they can't stand up and make us talk in front of people. And yet, they stand up, they do table topics, they sit down. And my first question to them, would you like to repeat why you come to teach Toastmasters, because I'm too shy to speak in front of people. I said, well, didn't you just do that 3 or 4 minutes ago? We can eliminate the nervousness by thinking happy thoughts, even making a joke. Maybe nobody will laugh at it, but inside you will. It's a question of training and habitual thing. If you keep on creating a habit, doing something all the time, it becomes a habit, and that's the way it will always be. And just by seeing and hearing this group here, and like I said, I was a Toastmaster for about 10 years. I stopped about 5 years ago. I can already tell you, and I'm not just saying this, that each and every one of you that is new here, you're going to do well, extremely well. Can I stop now? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you all. Bruce, that's my time for now, right?
That is correct. And I've put well, for us online, I've put the link to vote. Please, Elton will go around and collect from them.
Okay.
So I thank you all for your savvy responses to my question. And I thank you as well for participating in table topics. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Wait.
Oh.
Before, Rita, can
Yes,
you
sir.
say the people who participated, the names of the people that participated in?
I've got them. So it's
You got them?
Michelle.
Okay.
Michelle, Bibi, myself, Bruce, Sarah, and Bob.
Thank you.
I'll just wait a bit, Elton, for you to do your thing.
Bruce,
Yes?
So you're voting
Bruce,
for-
when I click on one of the names on this link you sent, it's not highlighting the name.
Get into that.
Don't know. We didn't have any issues this afternoon.
Yes. He's a child.
Try to refresh the page, maybe. See if that
Okay.
helps.
Thank you, I will. Sorry.
Yeah, it worked for me. I just clicked on the name and that
Yeah.
went.
Me too.
I'll refresh it.
Good. We got everyone's everything? Okay, I have the votes.
Okay, thank you. Send me a private message and then I will let Rita know. Rita, are you here for the whole meeting? Oh, you're on mute.
I wouldn't. I'm going to hop off at about 7 o'clock.
Okay, so I'll announce it for you at the end then.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, with that, we are now going to get into our prepared speaker section, and we have our new member, Kate, coming up to do her very first speech, the icebreaker. Nothing to be nervous about. It's all about her. Only she knows herself best. And with that is, who is the evaluator? Sorry, just have to check. Speaker.
Elton.
Elton, you're her evaluator. So can you tell us the purpose statement, please? Yeah. Don't start anything yet, Kate. Because Elton's going to come up and read the purpose statement. There he goes.
All right, so Kate is doing her icebreaker.
I think you turned off the microphone.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she walked away with it.
That's okay. Uh-oh, what happened to the...
There's two.
No. Okay.
There we go.
So she's doing her icebreaker speech. And the icebreaker speech, the purpose is just for the individual to stand up in front of the audience and say a little something about themselves. That's it. So if you're able to do that, you've met the objectives. Right? So the purpose statement of this project is for the member to introduce him or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. And with that, we're going to have Kate. Uh-oh.
I know this fight. I know the title.
That's okay.
You got it. Good.
So Kate is doing strategic relationships at the icebreaker, and the theme of her speech is crossing borders, my immigration journey, Kate.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Have you ever wondered what it's like to reinvent yourself in a new country? Hello, everyone. I'm Katere, though most of you know me as Kate. After spending a decent amount of time trying to teach my colleagues to pronounce my Persian name correctly, I realized that some sounds in my name don't exist in English. So by simplifying and by deleting some letters, I arrived at Kate. One of my core traits, which I believe led me to immigrate to Canada alone, is an eagerness for independence. My mother often shares a story from when I was just 2.5 years old. I insisted on going to daycare alone. She followed me secretly, hiding herself behind the bushes and trees to watch me. Even from that age, I wanted to do my tasks independently. Another traits of mine are being shy and introverted by nature. For me, it takes time to open up socially, but when I get to know people, I could be the most sociable person in the room. With all of these traits and many more, on the last day of 2017, I arrived in Canada as an international student, and I started my second master's degree in building engineering, even though my background was architecture. I have to mention that before that time, I had never ever traveled internationally alone. I remember when the airplane was about to land, the first image that I saw from the window was frozen gray St. Lawrence River with swirling winds above it. It really looked like the scene from a nature documentary, except that time I was about to be the main character trying to survive it. And that frightening feeling was somehow true. My immigration journey was not easy at all. It coincided with the start of severe sanctions on Iran, which made it almost impossible for ordinary people to transfer money from Iran to Canada. So I had to work full-time while I was a full-time student. And I was fired and quit in 6 different general jobs during my first year in Canada. Along with all of these difficulties, I tried my best to learn French. I spent almost all my weekends practicing French. Many times I mixed up French and English. I remember once I went to a grocery store and asked people, "Excuse me, where's the fromage?" I couldn't remember the word for cheese in English. And many times unconsciously, I responded "we" to people instead of "yes." So after 3 years, I asked myself why I was making even everything harder harder. Immigration is hard, and I added another level of difficulties, which was French language barrier. So I applied jobs in different cities, and after just 2 weeks, I got an offer from Toronto, a city which I had not visited before. I moved here and honestly, everything started to get better. Over the past 7 years, my immigration journey has taught me a lot. I've gotten to know myself more. I've learned that in life, I have to embrace uncertainty, be strong, sometimes pretend to be strong, keep going, and no matter what. Thank you.
Wow. Kate, amazing, amazing. It's not very often I see an icebreaker done without any notes in hand. That was incredible. Thank you for that. Just going to write your time down here for give me a second. And with that, we will, Larry's getting ready. That's good. And the camera is being adjusted. So good for you. Up next, we have Larry doing his speech presentation, and BB, if you can give us the purpose statement, that'd be great.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Today, Larry will be presenting a project from his level 1. He is going to be doing a project on researching and presenting under the path motivational strategies. And today, the objective or purpose of Larry's presentation is for him to learn or review basic research method and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. As part of that, Larry is required to provide us any indication of the source of his presentation, the source of his fact, because it's research and presentation. And with that, I'd like to introduce Larry to us so that he can begin his speech. So Larry's introduction Larry is saying in this demonstration, Larry is indeed a yoga teacher, and he's presenting to a group of students. He hopes that you will gain healthy benefits from what he shows you, because in my opinion, he is indeed a savvy yoga teacher. Please help me welcome Larry St. Aubin, the Joint Free in Series, Larry St. Aubin.
Just do a mic check. How's it? Okay? Mike?
Sounds good. I'm waiting for the word namaste.
Yep. Namaste. In the rolling hills of the Berkshire Mountains, located in southern Massachusetts, set in gardens, grasses, and lakeside, is the idyllic Kripalu Yoga Center. Named after a famous yogi, it is a mecca for health and wellness advocates and practitioners. Now, yoga therapy is a branch of yoga that adapts to the individual. Instead of a group class, the experienced yoga therapist will work with an individual one-on-one to help alleviate health problems. One year, the Kripalu Center had a yoga therapy conference, and brilliant minds from around the country came to share their knowledge with eager young yogis like me. One of the teachers I was hoping to see was Mukunda Stiles. He is the author of Structural Yoga Therapy. He was a very savvy yoga teacher. He was also a legend in the community, but he rarely did conferences. Now, this was going to be a week of exploring the body, the mind, and the spirit. I attended his Pavan Muktasana workshop from the book, Pavanmuktasana is Sanskrit for joint freeing series. So the series takes you through the joints of the body, gently and systematically through their full range of motion. So you're able to explore full body movements by concentrating on just one joint at a time. So in the science of kinesiology, which is the science of body movement, there are 45 body positions. The exploration of each of these areas allows you to become aware of what your body can and cannot do. And this helps to prevent future accidents and pain. First, quickly, what is a joint? All right, an anatomy lesson. All right, so the bicep muscle ends in a tendon that crosses over the elbow joint and attaches to the bone. So when I activate the bicep, the muscle fibers shorten, pulls the bone, and closes the joint. And then when I activate the tricep, it opens the joint. And that's how all joints work. Good. Now that you have that understanding, I'm going to start with the feet. All right. So we begin with the feet because they do so much work for us all day. They support the body, the full body. They're walking and standing. So we're going to gently now, with the feet apart, toes pointing up, and take a deep inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to move the toes away from each other, feeling the stretch on the top of the feet. Right? And then exhale, bring the toes back towards my face, feeling the stretch and the bottom of the feet. Good stretch. Full range of motion, 45 degrees out and about 20 degrees coming in. Right. Now I'm going to pull my feet together, and I'll also use my hands for a visual. So inhale and bring the soles of the feet away from each other about 20 degrees. And then exhale, bring the soles of the feet together about 45 degrees. Good stretch. And finally, ankle rotation. Inhale left and down, curl the toes, exhale up, and then the opposite direction. Inhale down to the right, curl the toes, exhale up. There. And now we'll move to the knee. The knee only moves in one direction. So we inhale, lift up, and as you exhale, bend the knee and bring the foot down and gently pull the heel towards the hip, right? Just as far as you are comfortably taken. And then inhale up, and then exhale, bring it back down. So that's just the one direction. Now we're going to work on the hips. The hip is a ball and socket joint, right? So the hip has a concavity like that, and the leg, upper part of the leg, has a ball and socket joint. And this allows for multi-directional movement. So we'll just come, let's move the ball into the concavity first, okay? So feet slightly apart, inhale, lift the leg, turn the toes out, moving the ball, exhale, and move the leg out, and then exhale, turn the toes in, bring the leg back in and down. Once more, we're moving the ball inside the joint, inhale, turn the toes out, move the leg out, exhale in and down. All right, now we're going to move the concavity over the ball joint. So to do that, I'm going to stabilize my legs and then inhale, hip forward, exhale the hip back. See, we're moving the hip over the ball. Good. And one more from this point, side to side. This also helps. Multi-directional. Inhale in the center, exhale out to the right. Inhale to center, and exhale out to the left. Good. All right. Now, we're going to work a little bit on the upper arms and wrists. And in this one, if you want, you can follow along. Everyone? Okay, good. So now, regular joint movement of the hands and the wrists helps prevent arthritis and carpal tunnel. So let's move, outstretch the arms, palms facing down. Inhale, and as you exhale, move the fingers down and then slightly towards the chest. Feel the stretch in the top of the. Now inhale, bring the fingers towards the ceiling and feel the stretch in the bottom of the wrists. Once more, inhale down and exhale up. Good. Now bring the elbows to the side, palms facing up. Inhale the fingers away from each other and exhale, bring the fingers towards each other. And one more, the wrist rotation, gentle fist, elbows to the side, inhale left and up, exhale right and down and reverse. Inhale right and up, exhale down. Good. One more with the elbows, inhale up, and then curl the fingers into the palms, knuckles to the shoulders, and exhale, stretch the arms out. Good. All right, that's it for this lesson. The next lesson we do, we'll continue with the upper part of the body. Before we leave, I want to leave you with this quote from one of the great yoga therapists, DKV Desikachar. The success of yoga is not in the ability to perform the postures, but how it positively changes the way you live and your relationships. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Larry. That was amazing. That was really, really well done. Really well done.
Thanks.
Thank you for that.
There we are.
I'm going to check my agenda here.
Let's do the second part. That's just part of the speech.
Okay. Elton, I'll just wait for you to adjust the camera because you're up next as GE. There we go. All righty. Please welcome Elton Brown, our for the third segment of tonight's meeting, and he is our general evaluator when he comes back. There he is.
And there I am, and there I go. So this portion of the meeting is where, okay, let me start over. Let me start over. Have you ever walked down the street and happened to see someone that had toilet paper stuck to their heel? Have you ever seen that? How many people have not seen that? I guess maybe that's the easiest way to ask the question. Okay. And how many of us actually went to the person and said, you know, you got toilet paper stuck to you here? Well, you guys are good people. Okay. You're good people because normally, okay, I'll admit it, you know, sometimes I just snicker and just move on. At Toastmasters, we evaluate everything. So if someone happened to have toilet paper stuck to their shoe, we would tell them. And that's what we do here. We help individuals become better at speaking, communicating with individuals or a group, giving a workshop or a speech. Doesn't really matter. So that's what we do. And if you don't, what happens? You just keep doing the same old thing over again and over and over and over again and think, hey, I'm doing great. No, you got toilet paper stuck on the back of your shoe and no one's told you. So I have a team of individuals that are going to actually help me in this. And I think most of them were introduced at the beginning of the meeting. The first person that we're going to support, provide encouragement, and that's Kate. And Kate, I want to say thank you so much for your presentation, your very first speech. You appear to be very calm about it. I think that was because you talked about something that you know. And that is the key to being a confident speaker. Talking about things that you know. If you're going to talk about something that you really don't know, then you should study up on it so that when you get up on the stand or holding the mic, you're able to do that. Well done. I really love the way that you introduced us to the story with a question. You actually took us through your story sequentially. You didn't hop around with it. You knew exactly where you were going to go with it. And it was obvious because you weren't really using much of your notes. And that was excellent, because this way you're able to actually hold the audience. You've got a contact. Because as soon as I'm looking at all of you and I'm talking to you, and as soon as I do this, I've broken that. I've broken it now. So now I've got to go back and try to reestablish that again. Very good. Very, very good. I just wonder if using gestures a little more would help you have a stronger speech. I know it's difficult because you just want to meet your objective, which you did. You met the objective. You came up here. You stood here. You said what you wanted to, and then you said, "I'm out of here," and that's just fine. But we want you to work on maybe how to use gestures, because when we were talking to our friends, we're using gestures, right? All the time. Some of them, we don't even realize we're doing. And it's really, really important that as a speaker, that you use your body in order to get your point across. Really, really important. All righty. So I want to say thank you so much, Kate. I love the way you opened up your presentation, the sequential fashion that you use in order to present it. You even gave us a slight go-to at the end with all the information that you gave us. What did you want us to do with it? So I am really excited, and I'm hoping that you will give your next presentation under the Strategic Relations project. Thank you very much. Okay. And next on the is Bibi, and she is our second evaluator, and she is going to be evaluating Larry's presentation, the Joint Freeing Series.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, and especially you, Larry. Before Larry did his presentation, I asked Larry what he would like me to focus on in his evaluation, and he asked me to focus on the clarity of his presentation as he delivers it. So that is what I will focus on mainly. I will do so by telling him what I observe that he did well, what I observe he can improve on, by giving him a couple of gifts here and there. With that said, Larry, I'd like to begin that you caught my attention right at the beginning with your expression, with your voice, as you spoke about the rolling hills in southern Massachusetts at this yogi center that you attended. Your speech was about yogi movements, basically demonstrating to us how we can use yoga to help ourselves, especially as it relates to joints. That said, let's focus on your research. Because it's research and presentation, I must say that yes, you did right up front tell us the source of your information, and you even displayed the book for us to see where you got your information from, which is quite important in this presentation. Focusing on your delivery, I noticed that as you presented, your motion of the body was in sync with your narrative. It was well coordinated, and you did it very calmly, because it appears that you have done it sometime, because you are a yoga teacher, so you are savvy with this sort of thing, and you did not show any form of nervousness with that. My one gift to you is with respect to this in your organization of this speech is if at the beginning you would have had the ability or the opportunity to tell us exactly what you are going to do and what you are going to tell us about. So you were going to tell us about joints. So give us which joints you are going to tell us about, because I found that in your presentation, even though it was excellent, it had a lot of information on it. And in order for us to follow it, then it would have been better if you told us up front, I'm going to look at the joints on your elbow, the joints here, or the joints there. So just speak about 3 joints to make it easier for us to follow. In your presentation, even though it was excellent, I found that there was opportunity, or I observed that there were opportunities where you could have paused a bit more and get your audience to follow along with you, because at some point I kind of lost you because there was not enough pause in between your explanation and the movement of the different joints. In concluding, Larry, it was an excellent presentation. You met the requirements of your speech for research and presentment, and your delivery was very good. You were clear, your narrative was in sync, and I just had a gift with respect to tell us up front what you're going to do and then summarize it at the end. And also in that way, you would have covered it. In that way, we would have had more time to pause and allow your audience to follow you as you did your presentation. With that, I'd like to hand it over back to Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you again.
And may we now hear from our grammarian, which is Adrian.
Thank you, Elton. So today we did very well. I counted, hopefully I heard, let me just pull it up. I counted 6 times that we said the word of the day. So that's great. And so Rita said it twice, Larry had said it, Sarah said it, and Bibi said it. Hopefully it got everyone. And one quote that I noticed Larry said, which I really liked, and I also practice yoga, was the success of yoga does not lie in the ability to perform postures, but in how it positively changes the way we live, our life, and our relationships. So it made me really rethink about how I see yoga and how maybe I should see yoga. So that was great. All right. Thank you, Elton. That's the report.
Thank you very much, Adrian. And may we now hear from our counter, Michelle.
Thank you, Elton. So as the counter, I heard ums, so. Those were the filler words that I heard the most. But overall, I find that we did very well today. I didn't hear that much overall. I heard more during the table topic session, and that's normal. That usually happens because people are thinking more about what they want to say. Good job, everyone. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And may we hear from our timer, Monsieur Bruce?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. For the table topics that happened first, we had Michelle come in at 1 minute 39 seconds, BB 145, myself 139. I'll go to Bob next, 143, and then Sarah came in short at 29 seconds. Usually not always with table topics. Because it's only a 1 to 2 minute speech, we want to continue talking until we see the green. So basically, with table topics, it's a minimum of 1 minute. So you've got half your time to go there, Sarah. So next time, keep that in mind for next time. For the formal speakers, we had Kate come in at 4 minutes and 11 seconds, and Larry went a little bit over past the 7:30 mark at 7:47. For the evaluators, Elton came in at 2 minutes 56 of Kate's speech, and BB went a little bit over hers of Larry's speech or presentation, 4 minutes and 6 seconds. For the grammarians report, Adrian came in at 1 minute and 1 second, and Michelle's came in at 47 seconds. And that is it. Back to you, Mr.
Thank you very much. And I just sent you a message via WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, I'll check that.
Alrighty, and Rita is not here. And so I guess you are going to announce the table topic winner?
Yes, I will. And stuff. Your message just says 2 names, but no.
They're tied.
Tied. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I know what to do now then. Thank you. So can I get a drum roll, please? And the best table topic speaker vote tonight goes to Bob. Simple. He's got a name that you spell it backwards and you get the same thing. So way to go, Bob.
Okay. Such suspense, such drama. All right, so it's as the GE now, I have the opportunity to talk about the entire meeting, what we did well, maybe something that we could polish up a bit. So I'm going to start right off with the time. We started off on time. Of course, Bruce has a thing about that, so we're never late when it comes to when we start our meetings. I thought that everyone was introduced properly. They had an opportunity to tell us what their role is. Because for our guest, if you don't know what the role entails, you're going to just say, you know what, I'm throwing up both my hands. I can't do this because they're not telling me anything. And so hopefully we were able to do that. Our speakers were great. I really am impressed with Kate standing up here and giving her first speech. And I have never, ever seen anyone give a presentation except on television where they were on the floor on a yoga mat. So if that didn't get everyone's attention, I don't know what will. So thank you very much to our speakers. Our evaluators were, I thought BB was excellent. She really is very good when it comes to drilling down into an individual's presentation, not because she's being mean or anything, but she just wants to give you what she thinks you need so that you can be a better speaker the next time that you present. And I want to say a little something about presenting. If you make a mistake, who cares? That's why you're here, right? To be better. If you are, perfect, then this place probably isn't for you because you won't be able to get better because you're already wonderful. Our thanks to you to the grammarian, the all counter, and the timer for your support. All of these little things mean so much to us to help us do one thing, and that's to be a better speaker. And all of the things that we have learned tonight falls right back onto the theme, which is about, are you nervous when you give a presentation? So if you follow all of these little things, you're able to become better at it, and you become not as nervous. I think it's good to be a little nervous, just a little bit when you come up here, because if you get up here and you're like this, well, the speech probably isn't going to come out as well. There's no energy behind it. Okay, and with that, I see I've got red leaves now. And I'm going to return control to our Toastmaster.
There you go. Thank you, Elton, for that. We've got about 10 minutes left here. That's no real, well, club business for both Elton and BB and myself is that we have club officer training has started now in various districts. It's November 12th now. I already did my club president officer training, so yay for me. And if both BB and Elton can let me know of scheduled dates that you have coming up, please let me know and where it is if it's outside of District 60. Thank you for that. And just checking the thing. And we just want to get into any guest comments. So just like the beginning, you get a second opportunity to speak now. So if you can come up one by one and just let us know what you thought of the meeting. And if Elton can pass over the microphone, that'd be great. Oh, yeah, the microphone.
Sarah. I'm starting to remember names now. This is where it gets scary.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Sarah.
So what did I think of the meeting? I thought it was great to hear Larry's speech and Kate's speech. I thought you both spoke from the heart, very articulate, very clear, which was great. And it seems like a really welcoming group of people. So really happy to have had the experience. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sarah. And pass it on to the next one.
I was just gonna recall Howard.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for everyone for opening up the doors and inviting us all in today. I really enjoyed this experience, and it was just really inspiring to see people from all different places and all different ages and to learn about different topics. And hopefully very soon I will be up here as well presenting to you all. Thank
Yay,
you.
good for you.
Hi, everyone. Echoing what was said earlier, I am very thankful to have met such welcoming people, very friendly faces, very friendly demeanors from all of you for my first Toastmaster meeting. And I am excited to come back and become more comfortable with this.
Exactly. Thank you.
Hello. Do we do the name thing again?
Sure.
No?
Yeah, but you know, sir.
Hi, everyone, just in case you've forgotten. Enjoyed the session. I was really impressed by, it's clearly you had rehearsed, but it didn't feel rehearsed. And even the people that spoke, table topics, people who just came up here and presented completely blind. I thought you looked very composed. You looked really cool from way back there. You looked like you knew what you were doing. So I felt very inspired, and I felt like it probably isn't that hard to do. So looking forward to trying it myself sometime. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Come on, Bob.
Come on, Bob. The table topics winner. Come on. You got to get up there.
We're gonna have to put his feet to the fire. We're gonna put your feet to the fire so you become a Toastmaster again.
They're not getting it back.
Yeah, it's mine.
Being a Toastmaster is much beyond just coming in here and doing what Toastmaster requires from you to become a speaker. There's camaraderie. People end up just sharing a lot of each other. At times, I've known Elton for years, and many times after his class is done, we go and have coffee together. You'd be surprised how many friendships are actually cultivated through Toastmaster meeting. Key thing that I pass on to anyone and everyone, when you come here to play. Now, when you were kids growing up and your mother said, go out and play, she didn't tell you go out there and blow up a house or do anything wrong. What she said is take an activity and enjoy it. So that's why I'm saying to you, in your own mind, and you were asking before, how do you overcome the, your nervousness and all that? You come here to play. And for God's sakes, and I mean this sincerely, do not be afraid of making a mistake. There are no mistakes that you make. It's your learning power, all right? And if we do laugh at you, it's not laughing at you. We are laughing with each other. This is the one place, Toastmaster, that you can learn the way we learn. Dale Carnegie runs a learning how to speak session. It's almost $2,000. The session each night lasts for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's just for a weekend, $2,000.
That's right. And the most that they gear you for is a 2-minute talk. Wow, that's not going to get you anywhere. When you come and you'll be assigned a role, take it and be fun with it. And I think I better shut up right now. So bye.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Yeah. And he commented, he said something good that wasn't, don't be afraid because we're all here learning. Every single meeting that I attend, we're learning. Whether it's just simply one thing or maybe an extra component of an evaluation that we heard is like, oh, I've never heard that before. And even how to properly sit on the floor. Well done, Larry. Okay. So with that,
So, wait, so Larry, tell us what you thought of our
yes, sorry, Larry came. Because he's I know him as a Toastmaster, but he was a guest tonight, so.
Well, I want to thank Elton for accommodating my play. I was standing here before the meeting. I said, well, I'm going to do my speech on the floor. And he kind of like did a double take. Did I hear you right? But yeah, all right. So yeah, so that's, he got the camera angle all on me. I watched and that was really good. So thank you very much for that. And I just really liked Rita's table topics where she asked for 3 tips from the experienced Toastmasters, because it's something that we always think about as experienced Toastmasters. What do we tell the proteges, right? And mine is always take a deep breath before you start, because that's calming, and then you can start, and it helps with the nervousness. But that's my tip. Okay, thank you. There we go.
Thank you, Larry. We'll see you tomorrow at noon, okay? Okay, are you done, Elton?
No.
Okay.
Of course not. No, I just have one thing, and that's our next meeting is on November 26th. Same time, same place. And you are all invited. In fact, a week before the meeting, you will get an invitation via email so that you won't forget to come. And the title of the next meeting is Lead with Confidence, the Key to Career Advancement. And this meeting will focus on how leadership skills combined with clear and effective communication are essential for advancing in your occupation and gaining the trust of others. So we hope that you guys will come back, enjoy, and in about a week you will get an invitation from us. Back to you.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Elton. And yeah, you're welcome to come back again. We definitely don't refuse guests. So please come back. If you're not available on the 26th, come back and the first meeting that we have in December. There we go. So you can attend whenever you like. So thank you for that. And I will adjourn meeting number 339, I believe it was, because I've already closed my agenda. Thank you for attending, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.